Hello and welcome back to Wargaming with Gary. This is my last one for today. I might try and do some more tonight, but I'll see how that goes. The sun is shining. I'm off today. I want to get out on the on my decking and sit with my beautiful wife and have a glass or two of something and just chill out. And I think it's around about 12 o'clock now, so I really, if I appear a little bit rushed with this video, I do apologise, but I want to get outside and have a beer and sit with my lovely wife. Okay, so so let's get on with it. There's two more, so I've done 6 more Persians and some more Orcs, and I just show you. Now the Orcs I painted only recently, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them because I rushed over the last 2 I showed you on the boards, but I'll tell you a little bit more about these. But the Persians, so let's start with these Persians. So if I just bring that down here, and you can see I've got a nice, there's a nice little crowd of figures there now, isn't there? That looks nice, I think. Anyway, right, so let's, oops. Oh no, I know what I was going to do. Sorry, bear with me. Just a minute. What I found last time, wasn't it, that if I put them on this stand, everything showed up much better. So let me do that. Sorry that now, right, if I'd have been better prepared, better organised, that would have been all ready to go. Right, okay, so now that is, oh, let me put my glasses on. That shows the I suppose because I've made it a bit higher, that does show off everything much better, I think. Tell me what you think. I think just by having them higher, I think they look much better. Much better. Let's have a look at the guy in the middle, have a look at his shield. I'm rushing through this because I want to start on the telling you about the Orcs. Beautiful shield. That. Little Big Man Studios, he's a genius, an absolute genius. Look at those shields, just look. And you know what, I mean, my painting is improving. I feel my painting is improving, but the transfers just show everything off to its very best. I am really pleased with that. Really pleased. Okay, so so that's them. Let me just move them out the way. I'm gonna pan down so you can see the look. Lovely regiment, really pleased with that. So I'll move these out of the way, and then what I'll do, I'll show you the Orcs I'm working on. Okay. Okay, and there's the Orcs, so they are crossbowmen. And there's a leader there, and what's his name? Marfu Carreg. Now, what I'm doing with these guys is I'm doing a timeline. I'm also doing a story for them. And I'm doing it slowly as I go along. I've done, now let's just put, right, so there's the commander at the front. I'm very pleased with that. What I've done with these guys is in the green I mixed in quite a lot of flesh colour, and I think it's come out alright. I think it's come out nice, and I'm going to keep them. I'm going to, like as they are. I'm going to keep them as they are, but in future I'm going to do flesh colour, and then with the flesh colour do a green wash and see if that comes. What I'm trying to get is I want a fleshy colour but with like a hint of green in it, so so I think that's okay. I'm quite pleased with that, but there will be I'll, as I go along, I will be trying out other things to see if it works better. Now I'm just going to tell you like this fantasy world history that I'm writing. I'm going to just tell you the first paragraph, and what I will do is, once I've got this all written up, I'm going to put it on the internet. I don't know how to do this yet, but just so that people can read, so that when I'm doing battle reports, they'll be able to read the history, what's led, you know, like the campaigns, the timelines, just to try and make it, you know, interesting. Yeah. So if I tell you, so this is just the first paragraph, and it doesn't really talk about the orcs as such. So it says, and it just says, elves have the longest timeline and started their own history from the first millennium, which they refer to as the time of the elders. And as elves value time and wisdom above all else, this title is of great honour indeed, especially for those who have survived that time. So the idea is that, you know, like, so it's not just going to be orcs, it's going to be men, it's going to be elves, it's also going to be dwarves. And I think I'll just read you the next bit I put in regards to the dwarves. Dwarves have the next longest timeline, but argue their history is longer and that they didn't keep records as they were the only people about and didn't see the purpose. So they say. So like you see already, what I'm doing is I'm building in, there's that little bit of animosity between the elves and the dwarves, which I think is quite nice, and you know that kind of comes out on the films and the books that I've read. I'll read you this last little bit that I've done. I've done, in actual fact, I say last little bit, I've done a lot, but I'll just read you the final paragraph I want to read today, just so that we start moving forward. Dwarves aren't recorded until the middle of the first millennium. 480 elf traders contacted the dwarves in the Iron Bluff mountain range while searching for a legendary pass through the mountains. See, there are still bits I need to like improve. Elves reported back to their ruling classes of the dwarves and their skill of shaping the mountain rocks and tunnelling. So again, it's from the books and films I've seen, read and seen, it's drawing that all together. So that anyway, that's the first page, and I just thought that was quite. I'm quite pleased with what I've done there. But if you come up with some ideas of your own, which you think, you could use that, tell me, and if I agree that it goes in with what I'm trying to do, I'll put it in there, okay? And then when I've finished the first, 4 or 5 pages, somehow or other, I want to put it on the internet so that everybody can access them and read them in their own time, because I'm sure my reading isn't particularly good. But yeah, so if someone knows how I can do that, and especially if I can do it through YouTube, if there is a way of me doing it through YouTube so you can access this, because I don't want to print thousands of pages out, I just want to be able to click a button and it all goes on. Yeah, so that's that. So that's the elves. They're the that's the orcs. We've got 2 Persian regiments there. In actual fact, what I'll do, I'm going to do one more video. Let me just turn this off.